Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. The refrain says it all, though there's so much we could unpack in that beautiful song. Forget about perfection. You're never going to have it to give. So ring the bells that even in their imperfect state in you will ring. There is a crack in everything. There is a crack in everything, a crack that belongs in that object or person. That is the opening where the holy, the light, the whatever you want to call it, gets in. And that's as it should be. During the last sabbatical I had for my settled ministry, I sat with that song for a long time. It was part of my spiritual practice. And I heard the words of Rumi, 13th century Persian mystic and poet, who Leonard Cohen is quoting. Leonard Cohen was brilliant, but there are no new thoughts. I share Rumi's words with you. I said, "What about my eyes?" He said, "Keep them on the road." "What about my passion?" He said, "Keep it burning." I said, "What about my heart?" He said, "Tell me what you hold inside of it." "Pain and sorrow," I said. "Stay with it," he said. "The wound is the place where the light enters you." According to Rumi and Leonard Cohen, our wounds have profound value. In that sabbatical, as I sat with these words and meditated upon them, I found myself thinking a great deal about the Japanese art of kintsugi, which we have seen images of, the golden joinery or golden repair. The kintsugi technique may have been invented around the 15th century. You know, there's a little mystery around some things in this world, thank goodness. It's said that the 8th shogun, Ashikaga Yoshima, after breaking his favorite teacup, sent it to China for repair. Unfortunately, at the time, the objects were repaired with really unsightly metal ligatures. It was determined that the cups were just beyond repair. But the owner decided to give it another try and had some Japanese craftsmen repair it. And they were surprised at the shogun's steadfastness as they decided that they were going to transform that cup, probably a little frightened for their own well-being too, I would bet. But by goodness, they were going to fix that cup. And they filled its cracks with lacquered resin and powdered gold. The legend seems plausible because the invention of kintsugi is set in a very fruitful era of art in Japan. So we can believe that that's pretty likely. Looking at the photographs of lovely kintsugi works that we saw earlier, we can see them perhaps as symbols of healing after wounding. One day I decided, since my walls are filled with cracks that cannot be kept at bay, that I was going to fill them with gold paint. My walls are not as lovely as those of kintsugi ceramic bowls and plates and teapots. My beloved will tell you it's a little weird looking. Gary's sitting in the back corner like, you know, they're a little strange. But I love those strange, cracked, peeling paint gold walls. It seems as if the life stories of the people who lived in the house are embedded in the house, and they're there for the telling. They're like treasure in the walls. And the events of my life and my family and my son are absorbed into the house and are part of the treasure hidden in the walls. The walls are imperfect, and the house and my life are imperfect. And when I stop striving for perfection, I am content and at peace. Like Kintsugi, we are each perfectly imperfect. We bear signs of breakage and mending. And hopefully we've had the expert artistic support to be mended in such a way that we are even more beautiful and stronger at those seams. Those signs of breakage and mending are honest parts of who we are, which shouldn't be hidden. Who we are is precious. And as author Bryant McGill has written, everything beautiful is damaged. We are damaged, and we are still beautiful, maybe even more so. Well, I believe that our scars and imperfections are part of who we are and the unfolding of our particular life. I'm not entirely sure that those cracks are how the light gets in. I think they may be how our glory, our possibility, our unique light gets out. As we reflect upon Kintsugi and our cracks, I invite you to think of the story of the Golden Buddha. When the stucco clay is broken off, the glory of the perfectly formed Buddha shone forth. Maybe it is for us too. When the events of life chisel through our hardened protective exterior, our glory shines forth. I invite you to join with me in meditation. Find a comfortable spot for your tush. Wiggle around as needed. Breathe in deeply. The words of Beth Lefevre adapted. We are whole, even in the broken places, even where it hurts. We are whole, even in the broken places, the places where fear impedes our full engagement with life, where self-doubt corrupts our self-love, where shame makes our faces feel hot and our soul cold. We are whole, even in those places where perfectionism blunts the joy of full immersion into person, place, and activity, where good enough does not reside except in our silent longings, where our gaps must be fast filled with substance, accomplishment, or frenzied activity, lest they gape open. We are whole, where we would doubt our own goodness, richness, fullness, and depth, where we would doubt our own significance, our own profound being. We are whole even in our fragility, even where we feel fragmented, alone, insubstantial, or insufficient. We are whole, even as we are in process, even as we stumble, even as we pick ourselves up again and again and again. For we are already whole. We are whole. Amen.